I had signed a contract with CBS for 10 years when I left the Gary Moore Show, which would require me to do 2 guest appearances and a special a year for 10 years. Within the first 5 years of that 10-year contract, it's unusual, it's never happened since, I had the option, not CBS, if I wanted to push the button, they had to put me on the air for 30 weeks in an hour variety show or pay or play. So Joe and I were out here in California, and I never thought I would want to do a variety, be a host. I'd be scared to death. And we weren't doing too well. You know, the work wasn't coming that rapidly, and we were have a family coming and trying to buy a house. So it was the last week of the 5th year. Christmas was coming, and then, you know, that 5-year button would be over. And Joe and I looked at each other. He said, maybe you ought to push the button, because at least we get 30 weeks. I said, okay. So I called up Mike Dan, who was then the head of CBS. Got him on the phone. Hi, Carol. He had a kind of a high voice. How you doing, dear? I said, I'm fine, Mike. I'm out in California. Oh, great. I hope you have a great Christmas. I said, Mike, I want to exercise that clause in my contract that had been signed 5 years earlier, where I can do 30 variety shows. And there was this dead silence. Mike, are you there? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, great. Well, let me get back to you on that. That's great. And I know he didn't know what I was talking about. So obviously he went to the lawyers, and they went, like, oh, my God, yes. So he called back the next day, and he said, you know, Carol, we've got a script here for it's a cute sitcom. I think it was called Here's Agnes or something like that. You could just picture it. And he said, you know, do a sitcom. No, I said, but Mike, I love variety. I want to do a variety show. I want to do a musical comedy variety show, like we did Gary's show, you know. And no woman had ever had a comedy variety show. Dinah had a musical variety show. And so he said, but the women, you know, it's been Gleason, it's been this and that. I said, but that's all I know. And I want to have guests, and I want to have music and costumes and do sketches and all. Okay. So they put us on, they had to put us on the air. So they put us in on Monday nights at 10 opposite I Spy and Big Valley, which were always in the top 10 or 15. And I remember Joe said he went back to New York to have meetings and to hire some writers and so forth. And he went into Mike Dan's office. And behind Mike's desk was a big bulletin board where they tack on the schedules, and he hadn't closed it. And so there we were, Monday nights at 10, and then comes January, a big question mark under January in that slot. In other words, you know, would they pay or play? And so I remember Joe said, you got a lot of confidence in us, don't you? Well, we just figured we'd be on for 30 weeks and that would be it. Never dreamed that we would have the run we had.